Hi, I'm Tim from McNichol & Butler. Today we're going to show you how to build a deck. The first thing you want to do, you want to mark out where your bearers are going to go. On this particular job, we're going to be having our bearers every 1500 running for the full length in between these two fences. Basically what I've done to start off with is I've gone through and I've just marked, measuring 1500, 1500. I've centered, because this space is under 3 meters, I've centered this support. I'm going to go through this whole job and dig all the holes every 1500. Dug all our holes. We hired a post hole digger for the day. Got all our holes 1500 apart. We do our holes 600 deep. So now we're ready to start for the next phase. Next phase, if you just come around, what we've done as well, we've attached, this is going to be our joist because we're going to have a border, a 3-deck border, herringbone corners on our deck. So to start off with, and this is going to be the quick way, we've attached this to the house, and then I'm going to put my bearers underneath, prop them through, put the posts in, going to have it all the deck propped, and then we're going to concrete it. Yeah, basically, as you can see, and that is going to be nice and flush. In this sort of situation, level isn't necessarily what you want. You want to be flush with the house, so whatever the house levels are. So that's what we've done. Also, I'll just show you, this is one thing that McNichol & Butler are pretty big on, and that's making sure that we retreat all our cut ends. Right? All our cuts retreated, otherwise you void your warranty on your timber. And we've used Eco in-ground protection. How you going, fellas? Basically what I've got here on posts for our deck, I've gone through, put screws on each side. This is to stop it jimmying up and down in the concrete. We've also treated our end, just gone through, chucked them all in all our holes in the whole job. You might be wondering how we worked out our timber sizes. We looked it up in the code. Timber framing code says 90 by 45 double bearers on the posts, so that's what we're going to be doing. I've found 90 by 45s are the best for just because of the height restrictions generally that we face on most sites. But if we had a lot of room underneath, I could upgrade the timber size, which would mean less holes, less concrete, so you could save money. All our bearers, the code says, double 90-45s at 1500 centres, and then our joists are going to be at 450 centres through the whole job. And if you want to know how to find it out, you just look it up in the code. The next thing we're going to do, what I'm doing basically, I'm attaching my bearers. I get our posts which have been retreated on the cut end, popping that down there. Then I'm just going to attach each post like so. The next one, now I'm leaving these bigger posts on the fence line. I'm going to do them at the very end, so it has to be perfectly straight because we're going to have a blueboard wall going there. Attached, and then I just make sure that each one is roughly running square. Just wants to come over a touch. Just the back of it, and just want to make sure that this is. We're going to check these all at the end, but we're just going to make sure that we're not heading uphill. And when we're using screws, just because it makes it easier to do adjustments and all that sort of thing. If you do nails and you've got a hammer and then you start shaking all your structure, so it's just a lot easier to make adjustments. What we're going to be doing now, we're going to be lasering, leveling up this. We're going to get 3 points, and then we'll get this straight and we'll get the holes poured. So Luke, let's go, we've got to lift it up.
Say when.
Yep. Alright. This one's got to go up. So what we're doing is we're just getting 3 points level, and then we're going to string line to make sure that it's straight between the points because this house has a hump in it. Alright, welcome back.
Get used to it, mate. You're a sensation on YouTube.
Basically what I've done is mark 2360. We're going to run this joist coming all the way through here to pick up all these ends through our level points. 2360 because we're going to have a 90mm post here. We're just going to pick up our wall. So this deck's going to be ace. So I've laid my joist on top. I'm just checking that I'm keeping my bearers at the same spacing all the way through, which is 1500. I'll whack a screw through from this angle, and that'll just connect the joist to the bearer, and this makes sure that we get our levels right with all our bearers that are poking out. Beautiful. Old leg's still struggling down there.
Small 6-gauge screws.
So now we're just filling up all the holes with concrete. As you can see, we've propped our deck. We've used the joist on the back, set it up with the laser, so that we know that this section here is all straight. We've only put one bearer in at the moment, and that's just so we get all our posts concreted in the right spot. Everything's spaced correctly. It's all perfectly level, following the house. This is going to come together great. What we're going to do after we've put the concrete in, we'll be doubling up these because it's got to be a double 95. We'll put bolts through it. We've still got to put our posts in, which are going to be our high ones because there's going to be a blue board rendered fence here. And then we can start working on our joists and all that sort of thing, but that'll be in the next couple of days. So there you have it. Now that we've got this joist straight, we're putting in our back posts, which are higher again, as I've mentioned, because we've got a fence going. We'll get a couple more screws in it. This is my colleague, Mr. Lucas McNicholas, carpenter extraordinaire.
G'day guys.
Checking the plumb.
All good?
Yep, you're good. And basically what we do is we fill this up with concrete. Yeah, you're good.
Far away?
Yep. And we plumb it up afterwards. Because we know that's a straight line, that joist is at a straight line, we fill it with concrete, and when you sight through the tops it should all be good. It should all line up just nice. So we'll keep going. We'll keep getting these posts in. We'll try and get this all concreted, and we've at least got a big chunk of our deck built. And then we're going to focus on the two corners, which should happen pretty quickly. Alright, so now basically what we've done, we've put two M12 bolts, that's 12mm cup heads, going through the joist. As you can see, we've doubled up our joist, and we've gone through, done that on the whole job. And now we're ready to start laying our joists through on top, which we'll have done, and then we'll put brackets with a twist tie down brackets on each one, connecting the joist to the bearer with brackets. And then the subframe's basically complete. Alright, what I've done now, as you can see, I've gone through, put our joists on. I've put these brackets, I've got one here. It's called a uni-tie, left and right. I've gone through, whacked them on to tie our bearers to our joists. This is so over time when people walk, the nails aren't going to come loose. As you'll see as well, we're putting viscose over the top of our joists. This is going to make these joists last basically forever. It's also going to hide the colour difference when the deck boards go across, so you won't be able to see, you know, the greenness of the timber, but it'll all be black and disappear into the shadow. What we've also done on the edges here, we've put trimmers across, and this is basically for our border. So I've worked this out so that it works for our border. Now what I'm doing is I'm going through and I'm going to be putting these little brackets on each side again, so when people step on it, these don't come loose and move up and down over time. So these brackets, this here's like a little mini triple grip, which I'm just putting on both sides the whole way down this whole run on both sides of the deck for our 3-deck herringbone corner border around the edge. And that's it basically. So yeah, we might take some footage. This deck so far has taken us, to get to this stage, it's been about a week's work, 8 hours a day with 3 guys. So don't underestimate the amount of work or how long it can take to get all these bolts and brackets and holes dug and concreted and then cut all these joists out. That's it.